I get like a Gmail notification. Yeah. Yep. It just
So click on it,
popped up.
and we'll just go with it.
It says waiting for KK the Destroyer.
Really? It says I'm on air. Okay, yeah, there it is.
You might have to. You might have to do the same thing where you have to.
Do you
I don't
still
know
not
if you
see
do
it?
or not. It says you're live, but it says waiting for it. Like no video actually has popped up.
That's weird. Let me go look.
Might
Says
be that you have to do the whole.
Oh, it says I'm live.
Have to do. Yeah, it says you're live, right? Does it have a video?
Oh, it says I'm live. Yeah. It shows me.
Why isn't it showing for me right now?
Let's see here. And there's no echo, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is good. That's what I'm getting right now.
And there's no echo, so that's a good thing. I just posted it, so click on that link.
Yeah, same thing. It's just.
Really? So what do I have to do then? Oh, it says there's 6 people on, but nobody can.
Yeah, so 7 people are watching.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jules says she can see it.
Jewel says she can see it. Do I just have an outdated? I might have an outdated version of YouTube. Hang on. But if they all can see it, I don't even need to.
Well, I don't know how many people. I mean, there's shows 6, so we'll just kind of assume it's working. This is a perfect start to the season of the podcast because nothing's working, everything's a mess. So, okay, well, Johnny says it's working.
Yeah, Johnny says it's working.
All right,
too.
well,
Okay.
welcome back, Hard Knocks, from the long hiatus that we just had after finishing 2 seasons last year. So, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to get this thing back up and running after the year that was last year. And we got a lot of new guys, so we got a lot of stuff to kind of cover. We'll kind of do our regular thing. And Greg, thanks for joining me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Perfect. So we might as well just go ahead and start with the game you played tonight. So go ahead and recap your game against Penalty. That's a huge game. I started to watch it, but then I had to go play a different game, so I couldn't watch the whole thing. So tell us how the first quarter went.
First quarter started fairly well. I ended up missing a field goal, 0-0.
I saw that. That was a
field.
bad kick, by the way.
Yeah. I can't kick right now. I don't know what's going on. But he drove down the field and scored. So 7-0. And then I proceeded to get the ball back in the second quarter, and I threw what I deemed not be my fault. A pick six where the halfback just didn't even attempt to catch the ball. And it soared just past him right into his, I don't know if it was safety or linebacker, but right into his hands. And he housed it, so it was 14-0. And then I came back and I did score a touchdown. I was moving the ball fairly well all game. 14-7, I believe, with 8 seconds left in the first half. It was 14-7. I squib kicked it, and his up man
Naturally, that's like the move.
the kickoff return. Yeah.
I've never seen a squib return for a touchdown either.
Yeah, he housed the squib kick. It was absolutely ridiculous. So 21-7, halftime. I'm not feeling very good about myself.
Yeah, that hurts.
Third quarter, I throw another pick six, which is just a bad read by me. So it's 28-7. It gets to the beginning of the fourth quarter. I'm down 21 points. I'm on the goal line, but I couldn't score on 4th and goal because 28-10 isn't going to help me. 28-14 hardly would have helped me. And yeah, from there on. After that, after I failed, it was just desperation. Threw another pick, and then he just ran the clock out.
Dang.
Played good defense though. I only allowed 120 yards of offense. So.
Oh, I mean, that's amazing. Your defense has been doing the Lord's work all season long. So you can't feel too bad about it.
In all of my Madden games. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too upset about it. I mean, he's one of the best we have in the entire league.
Yeah.
But I mean, I also got Madden had it out for me in 2 plays there. That kickoff return, that got me going. And I bet he knows that got me going too.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, it was a good game overall, and he's, like I said, one of the best players in the league. So he'll probably end up winning the Super Bowl, or be in there at least.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what we can do about that.
Neither of us can do anything about it. We're both AFC.
Yeah, I know, right? One thing, since we weren't able to prep for this because of the whole broadcast situation, if you can get into like the stats and kind of we can go through some of that, I'll go ahead and check out the schedule here. I might have you look at some of the league owners because that's one thing that is hard for me to see, I think, in the standings. I think it just shows me the teams. So it looks like we'll go ahead and start in the AFC North. So that's the Browns, which is you, leading the division by a lot too, 4-1. So that game loss doesn't really hurt you that bad. Plus, you assume they have to play penalty too, at least maybe.
They're all gonna get beat by him.
Are you guys all playing the NFC? Is it the West?
I think so. I think.
Yeah.
I had the Seahawks next. So,
okay,
yeah.
So you're all gonna
That'll
play.
Be a forced win for me because this guy doesn't even want to play until they fix the gameplay or something like that.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't really get it. I mean, yeah, maybe it's not where it needs to be, but you're gonna sit there and take forced losses all season.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
Yeah, and then the Bengals, which is is that Blaze at 2-2? Okay.
Rashad.
Yeah. All right, and then the Steelers.
That's that green guy.
Oh, he's a new guy, so he's 2-2. So he's doing basically the same as everybody else. And then you got Mike with the Ravens, which you did manage to beat him in that game, but it was fairly close, was it not?
26-17. It was one possession, and I put it away in the fourth quarter, and that was it.
Yeah.
I think Mike has played a heck of a schedule, though. I mean, I think he's already played Penn.
Really?
Oh, nope, he hasn't.
No.
He lost to the Chiefs, who is now gone.
Who's now gone.
Now Rebel,
yeah.
Yep. And then he lost to me. He beat the Cardinals, who was Cy, and then he beat the Dolphins.
Gotcha. So he's got some tough games ahead of him, but he's a good enough player that he should compete for the division to a certain degree. I don't know. It depends on if you run away with it or not.
Yeah, I mean, him and Blaze are both pretty good, and then maybe the Steelers guy's pretty good too.
Yeah, we just haven't seen anything of him. So then we got the AFC South, which is the Jags and whoever that is. Oh, that's going to be that's Rocky.
Yep, Jags is Rocky. I'm
yeah,
just rolling through the teams here.
Yeah, Rocky doing good too at 4-1. Like, I got to give him credit for coming out the gate fast.
Yeah, he's always been pretty good.
Well, I don't know about always. He was pretty trash there for a while.
The year that he was the Lions, he was god-awfully bad. But after that, it seemed like he invested more time.
Maybe.
In Madden, and he's gotten better. So,
yeah. So, yeah, he's doing well. And then you got the Texans, who I actually played, and he gave me the business.
He's good.
Yeah, he was good. Hopkins is really hard to deal with. So I opened up, and I had one long run, I think, that scored me a TD, and I felt pretty good about it. And then I had him in a 3rd and long, and I was in cover 4, and he just bombs it to Hopkins, and he gets behind my coverage and then just runs it in. So it's just like one of those one-and-done plays, and I'm like, okay, I'm not thrilled about it, but whatever. It's not likely to happen again. And then his defense really clicked. He really started to just get everything on lockdown against me, and Hopkins was just eating every time. And then every single one-on-one, I swear, it felt like he got, even if it wasn't Hopkins, corner out to a tight end or to whoever. It was just like never knocked out, never nothing. And I got some solid corners. So I was disappointed with that. But I did get a lot of sacks, I think. I think I had 7 in that game, which is crazy.
Hey, you going stat crazy. Your first
Yeah.
game, I remember, what's his name, had 4? Or was it 6? Something like that. He had a ton.
Yeah, Joey Bosa.
Yeah,
Or maybe
Bosa.
I'm thinking the first game, but anyhow, Texans look like he's going to be a definite competitor, so that's exciting to get some talent in there. And then we got the Colts, which is greatness, which I'm pretty sure he's been in the league for a while.
UWG champ.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has, but
Yeah, he's been in the league 2 years, I think, now.
yeah, I think so. So glad he's returned back, and he's going 2-2, so he's not doing too bad. I think the game is just going to be a major adjustment because of how things play and different stuff right now. Like, what have you thought?
So offensive based.
It is,
I mean,
right?
I've always been a defensive player, so I mean, I'm still flexing on defense, but offense is just so much easier than defense this year. It's incredible, and some people are not used to the change yet with audibling and moving your linebackers and linemen
Dude,
and stuff like that.
I will tell you right now, like that's one thing that kind of messed with me is moving the all the D line and LB adjustments to the D-pad. I know you said you were comfortable because you have done that before.
Yeah, I've always done it on the D-pad, never with L1. It's L1. It used to be L1 and R1, right? That's how you did it?
Yeah, and I was always really comfortable in the bumpers, so that was fine for me. But now they made that change, and then they moved the L2 button to L1, and so I'm oftentimes, yeah, that kills me. And then now that they break the huddle right at the line of scrimmage, like I feel like I don't have a lot of time most of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure as I get better at it, I'll have less of a problem because I won't be second guessing myself. I'll just be doing it. But man, right now it's kind of rough. You haven't had as many problems?
I haven't had, if you look at my games, I haven't had any problems on defense.
All right, so I guess we can move on to the Titans, which that's Rocco, and he's 1-4, so hopefully he'll be able to get something going for himself. And then we can jump on into the AFC East, which is the Patriots. And who's that?
The Pats looking here.
That's Jabbar Greeley, actually 4-1. Like, what's going on there?
Yep. I mean, was it last year that we only played 2 seasons and I was?
Yeah.
Was I the Cowboys and he was the Giants, or was that the year before? I'm gonna get it confused. But he competed when he was the Giants, and the Giants had a pretty god awful team. So he's got a pretty decent team now. And I mean, who's in his division? Does he have any?
I was gonna say you got the Bills at 3-2, so they're not doing too bad. And I think the Bills is TBK.
TBK, yeah. So TBK is pretty good.
Yeah, he's been awfully quiet in chat. He must be super busy because he's usually in there somewhat. And then the Dolphins, which is a new guy, Miami GM. He's having a rough go at 0-4. I know he works a weird schedule though. So him and I had a game scheduled for Monday evening at 5:30. He wasn't available all weekend. So I'm guessing he might be like a firefighter or something because he's like gone for 2 straight days and then he's off. So hopefully he can get these games scheduled so he doesn't take a bunch of forced losses. But I wound up simming our game 50-50 because everybody else's games were done Monday morning, and I didn't want to make everybody wait all day for one game where we both weren't really that available. So I just simmed it, and I got the win. And then you got the Jets, who are
Jets.
Sib, okay, yeah. And then let's see. So he's 0-3. He's having a rough go.
He said that I took the life out of him or some crap like that. I spanked him pretty bad. It was
nice.
It got pretty bad.
All right, so then we go to the AFC West. You got the Broncos,
Johnny.
which is Johnny. Oh, that's right. This is my division. So Johnny at 3-1. You expect him to be a leader. I'm at 3-1, but I've really only played one game. And then I had a forced win against the Lions, and then 2 sim games, basically. So my record is good, but not because I'm playing exceptionally well.
Sure.
So
you have a tough division, man. Johnny's
now,
good,
yeah.
And, I mean, your brother.
Yeah. Rebels coming in at 2-2. I mean, that team is stacked, so I think he's going to have a big learning curve, though, because he's been out for the last couple years, but he did make the Chiefs guy quit on a couple picks. So, and then the Raiders is a new guy. He's fairly new to the game. We actually worked together, and he actually managed to string together a couple wins. He did say the lag was really bad tonight, so he lost, I'm assuming is what happened. Why don't you go pull up the game stats for that? He'll love that. Well, I can call him out right here.
28-6, Bears over Raiders. Okay, let me get to the schedule quick.
Nice.
Ooh.
And just so everybody knows, most of the chat we'll pay attention to in the Discord chat. Like, I pulled up the messages on the YouTube channel, but it's kind of hard to follow along there, so it's easier if you just comment in the Discord chat.
Okay, so we got, like I said, 28-6. The Bears won.
And then
the Raiders guy played some really good defense.
Did he?
29 rush yards allowed and 97 pass yards allowed.
Well, I don't believe that for a second because he's trash. So.
You know what he did do though? He had 4 turnovers. That's probably why he lost.
Yeah. Interceptions or fumbles?
4 picks with David Carr.
Oof, that's rough. Yeah, so
It won't tell me how they score. So.
I bet you that's what he was talking about with the lag. He's probably clicking it and just taking too long to register the button press. And then Jabbar just said, I'm technically 5-0 because of Sim BS. So he wants, he wants his credit for being 5-0. So yeah, I mean, my division should be actually really up for grabs. I'm anxious to play Johnny because, I mean, him and I haven't been in a division together, and there was a time where we were pretty even. I feel like he's really kind of edged me out, but hopefully I can compete for this division again. We'll see.
He got his only loss is to Rocky.
Yeah.
And Rockies.
Yeah,
you play this week.
Yeah, him and I play. I was trying to get him to play earlier, but he wasn't available. So we'll see after this podcast. Maybe we'll get to play. So then we can jump to the NFC North. We got the Vikings at 2-2. And who's that?
He's the new guy. He wants Baker Mayfield.
Coach.
The Barbell Fiend is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach, so, yep.
Yeah, it says Coach or Barbell Fiend. Yeah. So 2-2. I mean, who's he played?
Nobody.
Young
Durant forever is the Falcons. I don't know who that is.
So new guy.
Joe. He beat Joe.
Man, you gonna call Joe a nobody? Jeez.
And then he beat your buddy 17-0.
Oh well, he's a nobody. Guy. That's fine.
And then he beat Jordan Benson. He's the Finns, right?
No, I don't think so. Is he?
No.
I think he's the Bears.
Yeah, no, the Finns 1989. That's his like screen name.
Oh, I see. I got you. Yeah. And then
he beat Jordan.
The Lions, we're gonna have a new owner. Poor Lions have been through like 2 owners at this point, so hopefully this new guy will be good. He's actually a friend of the Texans, so as long as he's committed and ready to play, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And it looks like I mean, the division's up for grabs at this point at 2. Everybody's 2-2 or 2-3. So then the Bears would be Jordan Benson, right? Is that what we determined? Okay, yep. So he's 2-3.
And Joe.
And then Joe at 0-4. Jeez.
He's had some rough ones.
Yeah, he has.
7.
Jeez.
12-21. 7-14. Close games. Those will be a close game.
Yeah, they are. So he's got a chance. He just needs to get something figured out.
Yeah, he needs to step it up a little bit.
And then we jump to the Bucks in the NFC South. That's Jewel at 3-2, leading the division. That's a good thing to see. I thought she was having a rougher time. She was like saying how she was going to be the #1 pick overall or something.
She just spanked Nick. I don't know what Nick's doing, but he needs to get on his game.
That's right. Nick did take 2 forced losses, I guess, early. So his record is kind of messed up in that respect. But why does it say he's 3-2? Maybe he wasn't Because if he lost
Nick
to
is
Jewel,
1-4.
oh my bad. That's what it is.
He's
I'm
the
looking at the
Saints.
Bucks. Yeah, so he's the 1-4.
He played his first game. I mean, he only took one sim, and it was the Rams.
Really?
Lost, and then
I thought he said it was
he
2.
beat the Seahawks. He beat the Seahawks. He lost to the Cowboys and lost to Jewel.
Wow. Well, Nick's always a slow starter, so once he figures it out, he'll probably dominate that division. Sorry, Jewel. Just the way it is. The Falcons is a new guy, 2-2. So remains to be seen on what he's got going on. Who did he play?
He's played the Vikings, the Eagles, the Colts, and the Titans. So Racco, the UWG champ.
Yeah.
And the Eagles is a new guy as well. That bomber. Bronx bomber, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute. He's doing pretty well, I guess.
Dude, we're gonna get to the NFC East in a minute. I can't believe that right now.
So who's the Panthers at 0-5?
Panthers is the Stowed for Life guy.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So another new guy. Hopefully he can stick it out and get some wins together. But he seems to be playing his game, so that's awesome. That's what we need is active people just making the schedules and playing the games. And, you know, he might have had a tough schedule starting. Who knows?
He may not. Yeah, he may not be too bad. He lost to Cy, he lost to the Texans, and he lost to Rocky. Those were 3 of his 5.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so that right there.
Those 3 are tough.
Yeah. So NFC East, wow. You got the Cowboys at 4-0. And that's the number 1 Cowboys hater?
Nova too cold.
Oh, yeah, Nova too cold. That's right. And so, okay, you're going to have to go and look at his games. I want to know how he's winning these games. Is he just riding Zeke right now? I mean, his points for is 94, so he's winning close games, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, and he hasn't beaten anybody that's too terribly good besides Nick. I don't know who the Zack Attack guy is. He's the Giants.
Okay.
And then he beat Danny by 3 points.
Ooh.
And then he beat the Dolphins 31-13.
Gotcha.
And then, like I said, he beat Nick. So he's 4-0. He plays Joe this week. So we'll see how that game goes.
Yeah.
And then he plays.
Sorry, Joe, but it looks like he's going 5-0.
He plays Sib week 6, and then week 7 will be a heck of a matchup if that Eagles guy can stay undefeated, because they'd both run into that game undefeated.
Yeah. And then the Eagles is that B bomber, and so who's he been beating?
He hasn't played anybody that great either. That's why, I mean, I don't know. He beat Danny, and he's beaten the Falcons, which is that young Durant guy.
Right.
And then the Lions. I don't know if it was a CPU or not.
Yeah, it very well could have been.
Joe.
Okay, so the jury's out on this division, but hey, you're 4-0, so that counts for something. But look at the Eagles' points for and points against. He's got 118 points for and 27 points against.
Yeah.
So he is routing people. Then you got the Redskins, which is who? Danny. Okay, Danny's 2-3. He's losing close games though. 67 points for, 99 against. So it's not getting blown out or anything.
No, his first game was a blowout, but.
Yeah. Then you got Zack Attack at 0-4. I mean, Giants is a tough roster to deal with anyway, so that doesn't really help him out. Hopefully he can get a decent pick and rebuild and compete next year.
Yeah.
And you never know. I mean, he might have played a few tough guys too right now, because it sounds like Cowboys and Eagles have been playing some cupcakes at this point.
Yeah, but it'll be fun.
And then NFC West, you got Penalty at 4-0. Not a huge surprise. And then you got the Rams, who is
TX Ragnar, I think.
Oh, okay. He's another new guy, doing well too. Interestingly enough, he is 89 points for and 103 against. So he must have gotten blown out in the one loss he had.
He did. It was 33-7. I beat him.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So, I mean, how was that game since you actually played him? I guess there's not really a lot to say, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was 10-7 at halftime, and then I just took control in the second half.
Did he just throw a few interceptions or something, really blow the game open?
He had 4 turnovers, I had none, and I held him to under 50 yards rushing and under 100 yards passing.
Yeah, that'll do it. And then Cardinals is... Cy, okay. Yeah, he's starting out a little rough, 2-2. But he's losing close games, too. I mean, he's actually scored more points than he has given up. But it's where you're scoring them, I guess.
He's won his last 2 games, though, so...
So he's on the come up.
Picking it up. Yeah.
And then Seahawks is Escobar, but he is currently sitting it out. I think he's hoping that we try to change the sliders because he was really advocating for those sliders early on.
Before the game even began, yeah.
Yeah. So word on like the developers is that they're going to be patching the game here within a week or so. So a few things will change. I'm not sure how much of it's going to be affecting like coverage in general, but I know they're toning down the hit stick a little bit.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure the zones will stay broken.
Yeah.
They've been broken for years.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the thing, is it's every year there's just some things that just aren't as good as they were the year before. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm struggling with stopping people too, but, you know, we all have to make adjustments, so I don't know. We'll see. See if he changes his mind. So that pretty much takes care of the standings. I mean, we'll have to revisit it here in probably another 4 advances and see where everybody's at, see how it kind of shakes out. But as far as stats go, I mean, we can look at some individual player stats.
Yeah, we can. What do we want to look at? NFL leaders?
Yeah, just go to leaders in the NFL. I'm there too.
We got Drew Brees leading the way for passing.
Yeah, he does. 1,400 yards.
No surprise. Nick loves to throw the ball.
Yeah. He's still got a positive TD to INT ratio, so that's solid. I mean, that's one of those things. There's Jules with her 13 and 10. And let's see. TBK with a 7 and 5. Cam Newton with a 2 and 10. That's a little rough. But yeah. Oh.
Toad guy.
Yeah, I'm at 7 and 1, but that's inflated because I have only played 2 games.
I'm at 10 and 4.
Are you?
With
10
Baker.
and 4.
Yeah.
Deshaun
I don't
Watson
go for a bunch of yards or anything.
is 9 and 6. Yeah, 1,000 yards. I mean, it's so early to know right now, but 1,400 yards in what, 4 weeks, maybe 5? I think he was.
Yeah.
He was 1 and 4, right? Nick was. So he's played 5 games.
He is 1 and 4. Yep.
So you multiply that by 3. I mean, he'd be 4,500 yards by the end of the season. You got a lot of guys roughly that, so you can definitely tell offense looks kind of amped up.
Offense is totally amped up. Rushing yards has to be through the roof.
Yeah. Rushing leader, which is...
We knew Penn had this because he's been advocating him.
Yeah, he has.
Trying to trade him. Look at his average per carry.
Average per carry. Oh, 14.1. Jesus. Yeah, that's a load.
11 touchdowns.
That's far and away better than anybody.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson, 13 yards a carry.
Yeah, but we knew Mike would cheese that. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the average carry is like 7 yards, 7 yards, 7 yards. Zeke with nearly 6.
Yeah, it's crazy. Offense, the run game is so OP.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, the holes, and also the way you run into your line, and you still, I mean, you don't really get much negative yardage when you run into your line. It'll just bounce you around, and you stay up a lot. Like, they just can't figure it out. It's like 1 year, you'll get stuck and you'll fall down, and then the next year, you're just up forever, and you're weaving through the line. So it's like, find a happy medium, guys, because this is trash.
Yeah.
So, yeah, second overall rushing leader. Oh, I guess that's not. I was looking at the average. Okay, that's better. Lamar Jackson's like 7th or something.
Yeah.
Receiving, you got Jewel with Mike Evans and DeAndre Hopkins, which is the new Texans guy. He's doing the Lord's work. Both of them with 9 TDs. And then there's...
He claims he's the league leader because Jewel has 1 extra game played on him.
Oh, I see. Then you got Nick with Michael Thomas at 400 yards, and then A.J. Green. Tyreek Hill. Oh, that's right. They didn't finish that game when Rebel picked him off twice or whatever, so you expect that number to be quite a bit higher than that. So that guy must have been pretty trashy if he couldn't get him open. 18 yards average, though. I mean, it's not bad.
Run after catch is really high.
Hey, look at that. And there's the Raiders with Antonio Brown, 17 yards on average, 2 touchdowns. So he's up there. Pretty even. Blocking we won't look at. Defense, though, that's everybody's favorite. Tackles don't matter because Madden's dumb.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Tackle for loss.
Who are your sack leaders?
Okay, yeah, we can look at that. Joey Bosa with 9. Nick with Cam Jordan with 9. Ngokwe with 8. And then Kerrigan, Fletcher Cox, Von Miller with 5. Johnny not able to get Von going. And you with 5 with Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett, yeah, he's a beast. I got 1 on Penn today.
Did you?
With Garrett, yeah.
Is he? Yeah, he's really tough to play against because he'll really
he's
just
good at getting the ball out.
Exactly, like death by 1,000 cuts is how I always felt about playing him.
Yeah.
So you got tackles for loss, which you got Mike leading that with 7. This is kind of a tough stat because, like, a lot of it's CPU stuff. Like Cameron Wake with 6.
Yeah.
I mean, Davenport might be Nick's user, and then Vontaze Burfict with 6. So yeah, that one's kind of tough to see. But interception leaders, really?
I think interception leaders is skewed. If I remember right, I'm gonna go to Penn real quick. I think he pulled like 4 interceptions in 1 game with somebody, and I don't think it's showing up on that list. Yeah, Tavarius Moore, strong safety. He's got 6 interceptions with him.
How come it doesn't show up on this list?
I'm guessing maybe he hasn't done enough to show up on the list. He's only got 6 tackles. He has no tackles for losses, no sacks.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's right there. So this is his user player then, is that right?
This is his user, yep.
Did he get you with him?
I don't think so. I threw 3 picks, but one was to Verrett. Another one was to Quan Williams, and then I can't remember who the other one was. Eric Berry.
Eric Berry. Forced fumbles. Keanu Neal, my man, leading the pack with 4. Jimmy Ward, which is Penn's guy. And the Raiders with Vontaze Burfict. That guy must be doing work right there.
Burfict is dirty, let me tell you.
Yeah, he's so slow, though, man. He's like 82 speed or something, but I guess if he plays the edge, you don't need a ton of speed.
Yeah.
So, well, anything else to add? I mean, we don't have that much to really go over tonight, I guess.
No, I mean, I'm just happy we started again and got the lead together.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I guess we'll just call it a night for tonight, and then we'll have to come back at it. Like I said, in about 4 advances. We'll try to do this every few weeks and kind of see where we're at, and maybe make some projections.
Next time we can predict the divisions and see what happens, see if we're right or not.
Right. And we'll have to get somebody invited on the podcast, maybe one of the new guys, introduce himself, and see if we can't get a couple of them out and on the podcast, talk them up. So I guess that's it for us tonight. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you later.